Sorry to interrupt this great video, but please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you. Now back to the video.
Yep, I
So let's
agree.
talk about Kevin Durant. We
Yep.
got a report from Shams today that Kevin Durant and his business partner, Rich Kleiman, are kind of canvassing the league looking for potential opportunities. The five names that were thrown out in the Shams report were the Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, the Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the New York Knicks. Where did your head go when you saw that report this morning?
Well, I think he works everywhere. I think there's very few players that fit everywhere, and KD is one of them. He doesn't necessarily need to be the soul of the team. He doesn't need the ball constantly in his hands. You get great length, a willing defender, 24, 26. I I think KD fits everywhere. Um, if I was KD, I New York, I think he fits New York well, but Brunson has the ball in his hands. I mean, in his mind, is he thinking Brunson's got some Westbrook, like dribble the air out of the ball and I'm sitting in the corner? Like I could see him, like I've been through that. Kyrie, who he played with, also can be a little bit like that. So I could see KD just saying, because he's got the leverage here, I could see him saying, I've kind of done the ball centric guard thing. Um, I just don't want it again. Pat Riley and Spolster are very convincing people. Miami's a great place to play. No state tax. It's a winter league, a lot of warm weather. Like Miami's a really attractive place out east. But I'm a KD fan. I think he fits in a lot of places. And Minnesota, he obviously fits. Um, and we've talked about this. Like LeBron in his prime was great, but he had to be the offensive ecosystem. Chris Bosh had to reduce, got marginalized. Kevin Love can get marginalized. Guys, get away from the rim. Go, Kyrie Irving, you can't have the ball. So Kevin never provides that kind of obstacle. Like he just kind of fits. So I can tell you this: if you were a GM and you talk to a coach or players, a lot of guys would raise their hands and say, "Get KD," because I think he loves basketball. He's a good teammate. He's got a good sense of humor. He doesn't need to be the media darling. I think he's really liked and respected in the league. NBA Finals are here. This is your last chance to bet on the NBA until next season. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NBA. A finals to remember, pulling out all the stops. One team's going to be crowned champ. Who do you got winning it? Put your hoops expertise to the test. DraftKings has been the go-to spot for NBA player props. That doesn't stop now. All right, try placing a bet in your personal MVP to drop 30 or 40. If you're ready to place your first bet, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Takes 90 seconds. Lock in your bets. Finish the season a winner. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers, all you have to do is bet $5. $5. You'll get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Don't miss it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The code is Colin, Colin. The code is Colin. $5 can get you $300 if your $5 bet wins. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I 100% agree. I love the point you made about his fit. Like all five of these teams, the basketball makes a lot of sense. The one team that I was like, that doesn't make as much of a sense in terms of the basketball fit to me was the Spurs, because it's like, I don't love the idea of putting a super thin front court player that likes the perimeter next to another super thin front court player that likes the perimeter. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. It also just doesn't really fit San Antonio's timeline. So the Spurs one was weird for me. The Heat, I like the fit. I just don't know why KD would go there, because it just feels like another move to a team that's not good enough to win the title. Like, I'm just not sure that is Kevin Durant, Tyler Herro, Bam Adebayo, is that enough to win the title? I don't think so.
When I'm watching that kid Benedict
Mathurin,
Mathurin for Indy tonight. I mean, I'm not trying to overreact here, but when I'm watching him and I'm like, Jesus, he's just a kid. Like you're gonna get this 2 out of 3 games next year. Like this. I mean, he, by the way, again, I think, wasn't he the 3rd leading scorer on the team or 4th leading scorer this year? Like
coming into the series, he was actually the highest per minute scorer for the Pacers in this playoff run, because he was in a shorter role, but his points per 36 minutes was the highest on the team. Yeah.
Okay, so I watch him and I think, oh, he's going to become a full-time starter, and it will be Siakam, Hallie, and Mathurin are their 3 leading scorers. So I mean, I'm looking at the East and I'm like, I think Indiana's going to take a leap next year. They'll play with a finals level confidence. So I don't think I just and I'm not just saying this because they're up 2-1. I look at Indiana and I'm like, man, that is a team with, I mean, outside of, Siakam, he is what he is. If I feel like 75% of Indiana, all those players will be better next year. Siakam's game is his game.
They're better than they were last year.
Yeah, it's just like
all of them.
I was just so impressed with him tonight. So, we can start talking about with Tatum out next year. It's going to run through Indy. We got to be honest about this. It's going to run through Indy. They are deep. They're well coached. Most of their players are ascending. The East is running through Indy.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't see the Heat as like an obvious, like, oh, he goes there and he's all of a sudden the favorite in the Eastern Conference. I like the Rockets fit. I think his skill set is desperately needed as a guy who's a shot creator that can shoot from the perimeter. He also brings length at the rim, which is not like the Rockets are a big, strong team. They're not like a long arms team. Like Jabari Smith Jr. is like the one guy they have that offers real,
the Rockets
length.
Need him. Jason, I would argue the Rockets need him more than any other team that he would play for. They need him. Their half-court offense gets lost a lot.
Yeah, and he would go in there and immediately vault them into top-tier championship contention. So that move makes some sense. I will say by far out of these 5 teams, my favorite fit is the Timberwolves. It's a similar lack of redundancy in the sense that he brings kind of like exactly what the team doesn't have, which is a rock-solid secondary ball handler next to Ant who can really generate shots for his team. But they can surround KD with elite super physical defense, which is what he hasn't had in these other destinations. And also similarly, Naz Reid, not super vertical. Julius Randle, not super vertical. Rudy Gobert is vertical, but like Kevin Durant would be a guy at the 4 spot, different from Cat last year, different from Naz, who brings real vertical length to the table, where you can imagine Jaden McDaniels, Kevin Durant, and Rudy Gobert on the floor together in that front line, and it's like all arms just everywhere, and it would just be really, really difficult to handle. But it's going to be really interesting. I'm hopeful that we get a pretty quick set of action here in late June where we find out where all these guys land. But Colin, I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight. It was good to see you. Everyone who's hanging out here on the YouTube stream, we are heading over to Playback, so that's playback.tv/hoops tonight. We're going to be hanging out for an extra hour here after the show, taking callers and stuff. Colin, it was great to see you, man.
Great to see you, buddy.